Hello Pisces, welcome to my channel Igniting Insight. My name is Kelsey and this is your weekly oracle reading for Pisces Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is the first week I'm starting these readings, but they will not be date specific, so whenever you've stumbled upon this is when you're meant to see it. I'm intending it to be for Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, but if you identify with Pisces for another reason, maybe it's your North Node placement, maybe it's your Venus sign placement, or maybe you just have a lot of Pisces energy, then this reading may be for you. These will be weekly readings, so I would love for you to join me, subscribe to the channel if this resonates so that you can keep up with the energies. For this week, I am using these 4 decks, which I've laid out here to get an overall picture of the energy for the week ahead. First, I'm using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, which is going to give us information about the conscious aspect or energy that we're working on this week. The conscious issue, I guess, that we're something that we're aware of, that we're working out, that we're thinking about, that's going to be unfolding over the week ahead. And then I'm using the Illuminated Earth Oracle to take a look at the unconscious side of this aspect. So this is going to be something that you're not necessarily aware of that could be impacting this situation. And so understanding more of our unconscious aspects can make us more insightful and give us a greater understanding to navigate our lives more effectively. And that's why I wanted to include that in this reading. And then we're going to use the tarot. I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot to look at past, present, future, to kind of unfold the way this situation has been working out for you over the past little while, and the way it will unfold or could potentially unfold for you. And then we're using the Oracle of Unicorns to get a guidance card. So this is going to help you focus your energy, help you to navigate the week ahead, and to kind of give you some guidance for how best to approach your life over the week ahead. This is a general reading, it goes without saying, so it will not apply to everyone. And it's going to be, I'm going to make it as specific as possible. I let the messages come through me as I receive them, so I read very intuitively, so sometimes I get certain messages that might be specific to a smaller group of people, but in general it's very open-ended, and it's up to you to decide what area of your life or what situation this is speaking to. It's going to be whatever pops into your head as you're hearing this. If this reading resonates, you'll know what situation it's speaking to just based on what you're thinking about as I'm reading. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So what can we get for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising for the week ahead, please? What can we get for Pisces for the week ahead? Ooh. Round and round, it matches the back of this deck. This is like the Fibonacci sequence. Round and round. This speaks to the way our healing journeys go, the way our lives go. I always think about this circular pattern, this spiral shape moving outwards. So when we're on an awakening journey, on a spiritual journey, on an ascending journey, whatever you want to call it, you know, most of us here watching this kind of content are going to have started this journey already. It's not a straight line. A lot of people think that they're going to start down here and they're just going to go straight up here, and we get confused when situations start reappearing or things that we thought we had worked through come back around. But the reason that this happens is because we're actually, it's like we start the journey at the center of this spiral and then we start working around, and so each time we go around, we're gaining a wider perspective, a new vantage point from which to see the situation, but we're still crossing it each time. So say like here you've got inner child wounds. You're like, oh, I healed all my inner child wounds once you go over that the first time, right? But then you go around again and it's like, oh, no, there's another layer of that, and then there's another layer of that, and there's another layer of that, and round we go. It's an endless cycle of healing, of integration. And so the message for Pisces, and this is the conscious energy, so you might be aware of this cycle, or it might just be really on your conscious mind that you're like, why am I going through this again? I thought I had this solved. I thought I got through this. I thought this was over. I thought I had already integrated this. I thought that I was done with this. You know, whatever it is. This is just a reminder that healing is cyclical, and you haven't gone backwards if you feel like you're dealing with a situation again. You're always coming from a new vantage point. As long as you're doing the work, you're always expanding and coming into a new vantage point. So we need to release the pressure on ourselves when we think we should be farther along than we are, because chances are that we are farther along than we realize, than we give ourselves credit for, and we're just revisiting a situation so that we can do further healing from our new expanded perspective. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. We're going to go ahead and look at the unconscious side of this situation. What is on the unconscious mind? Ooh, eruption. There's a lot of fire. There's a lot of lava under the surface. There's a lot of heat for a Pisces, especially. You know, Pisces is a water sign. They're not necessarily used to this kind of heat. Of course, it depends on what else you have in your chart. But you could even be feeling some anger as to this process where you're feeling like you're back again somewhere that you thought you were past. You feel like you know, there could be some frustration regarding that. This can also speak to, and it's frustration that you're not even maybe necessarily aware of. So if you like suddenly lash out, or you act in a way that doesn't feel like it's in alignment to who you think you're becoming, it's because you have all this kind of fiery energy, this lava under the surface. But the thing about fire is it's very creative, and it can manifest, and it can create change. So we can look at this card really positively and say you have a lot of potential to create a lot of change in your life. So if this is how you're feeling, if you're resonating with this message, and you're feeling like, gosh, I'm back around here again, I don't understand why I've come back to the same place, know that you have all this fire, you have all this potential to change, to transmute, and to really move into a new kind of paradigm, I would say. So let's go ahead and get some more information for Pisces about this situation, maybe some more specific details on what it could be about. So far, all of my readings have been pretty general, so I am just trusting that you will know what this is speaking to you about. But what can we get for Pisces? Past, present, future, please. Pisces. Past, present, future. Past, present, future. Wow. I swear, these cards, these two, have come out the majority of the readings. Like, literally, these cards have come out so many times. And I swear, I've been clearing my energy, and I've been, like, I've been clearing the whole everything. The table, the cards, the decks, between each reading. So, I don't know. It's just, yeah, I think it just speaks to we're all connected. We're all kind of dealing with the same overarching energies. So in the past, we have Father of Wands. This corresponds to the King of Wands. It's reversed. This is telling me I'm getting wasted potential, wasted creative potential. I mean, Father of Wands, it's kind of about being really, really secure in your creative force, being a creative force in the world, your masculine energy, your self-expression. It could be a person too. This could be a person that personifies that what I was just speaking of. But it's reversed, which suggests I'm getting wasted potential for this reversal. I really read reversals intuitively, depending on where they are, their placement, and just what I feel they represent. And sometimes I read them as like a block or as an energy that's about to come in. But since this was in the past placement of your spread, I'm getting it as wasted potential, wasted creative potential. But all is not lost. All is not, it's not over. Life is certainly not over. There's still plenty of room to harness this kind of creative potential, but whatever situation you're coming out of, it's like you had all this fire behind your being, behind your healing, and maybe you got a little bit caught up in your watery side, in your doubt, and you didn't necessarily harness this fire as it could have been used because you weren't necessarily aware of it. This is the unconscious card, so maybe you weren't aware of all the fiery potential that you had, especially being a Pisces that's used to kind of feeling more through their reality and, you know, not being such a fiery force, but more of a intuitive force. For present, we have Son of Swords, so I think maybe it's this reading that's giving you a wake-up call or the insight that you need to understand the situation, but this is about bringing in a new idea, bringing in new understanding with force. This is a forceful energy, forward-moving, intellectual energy. The suns in this deck refer to the knights in traditional tarot. You can see it's symbolized by an owl, which is symbolic of wisdom. Again, the mind, intellect, this is air energy. So maybe in Aquarius season that we've been having, these are not date-specific readings, but if you are watching this during Aquarius season when I'm posting it, then it could be that you've gotten a new idea, new insight, or it could even be a person that's brought in some sort, it could be an air sign that's brought in a new perspective for you to consider your situation, to consider how you've been looking at your life, how you've been looking at your healing journey and these endless cycles and your fiery potential, and maybe they've shifted something for you just by bringing in this new idea. And then interestingly, we have a very closely related card for the future energy, which is the Daughter of Swords. This corresponds to the Page of Swords in traditional tarot, and again, it's a more it's a lighter energy. It's not so forceful like the Knight. It's more of a, you know, pages are kind of more innocent. I like to think of them as kind of gracefully handing you something. It might not be quite fully developed, but there's definitely some new ideas, some new understanding. It's coming in forcefully, I'm getting right now, but it will kind of calm down and you'll be able to really, it's going to illuminate the darkness. You see this darkness and you see these kind of orbs of colored light here. There's going to be just little specks coming up where your reality is going to be illuminated. It could be by this person, or it could be just of your own mental abilities. You know, they're both holding the swords, with this one kind of charging forth, whereas this one kind of seems like they're like, it, you know, this owl is more like grasping it, holding it, kind of cherishing it a little bit, and I do get that energy with the pages a lot, where it's like kind of this like sacred offering, this sacred idea, this sacred understanding that's coming in the future for you. Again, another very, very general reading, but I hope that that made sense for you, and I hope that that resonates. We'll get a card for guidance for how to best move forward over the week ahead. How can Pisces best utilize this energy, focus their energy over the week ahead to create the best potential outcome for themselves? Woo, that one went way over there. Let me grab it. Polarity. Integrate your shadow side. There can be no light without dark. Understand the law of polarity. So this is like a fully loaded card for Pisces guidance. This is giving us a lot more detail into the reading as a whole, I would say. So I'm going to have to speak to it a little bit longer than I expected to, but whatever this resistance has been to the healing journey, a lot of it is probably coming from a need to integrate shadow, to balance the darkness and the light. I've said this for several other signs already, but this is like one of my big messages that I'm here to bring forward, is that we have to be willing to go deep into our shadows, to go fully into our darkness in order to illuminate it and to bring the light. We have this term that people like to use and call themselves, and it's I think a very accurate and important and useful term, light worker. But if you're going to be a light worker, which a lot of us are being called to do, to bring healing to the planet, which is so needed at this time, the only way to be a light worker, to work the light, is to know your shadows intimately, deeply, to have gone in unafraid, really unafraid. Use this fire that you're maybe not aware of, Pisces. Go in unafraid and integrate your shadow side. It's not easy work, I won't ever say that, but it's a lot easier than ignoring it. Going towards it and just allowing the experiences to move through you. They will release, and you will become lighter, you will become lighter. That's why we have that term. So all of that heaviness we feel on our healing journey, it all comes from resistance. And the resistance is resisting our shadow, resisting looking at it, resisting seeing the darkness that is there. But the reality is that darkness is not us. We are the light. The darkness is just handed to us. The darkness is the program from the collective, from the karma. So we can kind of depersonalize ourselves from it, even though it is so intimately personal, because it's contained in our bodies, it's contained in our psyches, in our emotional bodies. It's contained in us, but it isn't us. It's just the old stuff. It's the old programming. So kind of, I think it's helpful to depersonalize from it and to just sit in the seat of your soul, let it move through you. Choose to go into your shadow side. There can be no light without dark. Understand the law of polarity. So we're really both. We really need both. To understand the light, you must have the dark. So Pisces, I think, is going through a big shift, a big healing, a big integration, and the ideas that come in this week are going to help you, as is utilizing your creative fire for healing, for good. Okay, Pisces, I'm going to leave it at that. I hope that was helpful. Do like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of this reading. If you have any questions, I'd love to see you down there, interact with you. I'm here to create a sense of community and to be of service. So especially as this channel is just starting out, I'm here to respond, to offer anything I can to help you on your journey. So please don't hesitate to reach out. I hope to see you next week, and I hope that you have a great week ahead. I hope you do some really solid work, Pisces, because I can see that you're working hard and you have a lot of integration that you're doing, and I hope that it goes well for you this week. I'm wishing you all the best. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste.